Hello knitters, Barbara Benson here. I'm an independent knitwear designer who also likes to make videos here on my YouTube channel, Watch Barbara Knit. If you'd like to know more about my knitwear designs, please check in the description below, and there you will find a link to my Ravelry page where you can see all of the patterns I have available for you to get and knit up for yourself. Also in the description below, you will find a couple of social media links. One is to the Watch Barbara Knits Facebook group, where we'd love to have you come over and join this closed group so we can continue the conversations we start here on the channel. Also is a link to my Patreon page. Patreon is a platform that connects creators with their viewers and allows the viewers to support the creator with a subscription kind of setup for as little as $2 a month. If you like what I'm doing here, please consider going over and checking that out. Today, it's been a while since I've done one of these. Well, kind of. I have a new indie pattern. I'm so excited. I had a lot of new patterns last month, but those were all in my book, and I still have been knitting and designing, and this is my newest pattern. It's a little different from what I normally design, but I'm very excited about it because it's so squishy. Oh, I love it. So it's a scarf, and I love scarves. It's a, it's a full-length scarf. Let me see. I got to look at my data. So it is actually, this one is 84 inches long, and it's about 6.5 inches wide. So it's your traditional scarf, just scarfy scarfness. But there was really a lot of thought went into this scarf because I had shall we say, an agenda. And what my agenda was to create a scarf that was super easy to knit. Like, that was my focus. That was my goal. I wanted to be easy. And easy is not always easy to design because I wanted it to have interest. I wanted it to not be completely a snooze to knit, and I wanted it to have visual interest and be, not just be, because you can do a garter scarf, but what can you do to make it more engaging and attractive, but still have a very, very simple set of instructions. So the result was this, and I am calling it a good scarf. So it's going to be the first pattern, and the plan is to have several other ones. I work for a yarn store called A Good Yarn, and I am taking my inspiration from this store for this series of patterns because we have a lot of people who come into my store because I live in Florida, and they come in on vacation, and they thought that they could get away with coming on vacation without anything to knit because, we're going to be at the beach all day. But knitters, I got to tell you, you think you're okay with sitting on the beach all day and not knitting, but you can't stop. You just got to get your little fingers going. So we get a lot of people who come into our store and they're like, we just need a project. I just want something, and they just want something that's, appropriate for vacation knitting that they can pick up and put down, that's fairly straightforward, that's not too complicated, but yet still fun and can show off beautiful yarn. So this is a good scarf, and there'll probably be a good hat and a good shawl, but all the focus of them is going to be to see how straightforward I can make the pattern and how easy it can be while still remaining ending up with a interesting visual pattern. And this is it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you. So this is how it looks. And this is my favoriteest part of this, okay? Watch, I'm going to turn it over. Oh, you can see the back side of it. Look. It's like magic. So it is fully reversible. You look here, and then, so there. So here, like this. But if I pull this up, you can see how it is? it's fully reversible. So this is how it looks on one side, and this is how it looks on the other side. It's like a magic trick, and it's nice and long. This is Primrose Yarns Classy DK. I thought DK was a really nice middle of the road weight for a scarf, heavy enough to go a little quickly, but light enough so it's still pretty drapey and fun. And oh my goodness, that is warm. I can't leave it on like that. Let me bring my lady over. Whoop. She was naked. So I'm just gonna slap this on here so you can see what it looks like. There we go. I'm gonna bring this up so you can see. There you go. See how I think it's just this detail is what's going on. Now, I was telling you what kind of yarn. So this is Primrose Yarn Classy DK, and it takes 2 skeins. So that's 225-ish. So it's a total of 450 yards of DK weight yarn. I knit it on a size 7 needle. And so here's the thing. It's 1 row. The instructions are literally 1 row. Once you know that row, you just go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth until it's as long as you want, or you've run out of yarn. Well, you got to leave enough for a bind off. Now, in the bind off, I have an in pattern bind off that I liked, and they involve knitting 2 together and purling 2 together. If you don't want to do that kind of bind off, you can always substitute your preferred stretchy bind off. Other than the bind off, literally the only stitches in this pattern are knit, purl, slip, and slip with yarn in front. That's it. That's it. And you make this. It's so exciting. I had to push, it's funny how long it took me to, I pared it down and pared it down and pared it down and finally got it to this succinct, fast pattern that you can knit until your head explodes. Now, what other information? I chose to knit it in DK weight. You could also knit it in sport weight or worsted weight easily. If you wanted to do it in sport weight, you would need to go down in needle size based on your own gauge, and you're still going to need 2 skeins, but you're going to have too much yarn unless you want to make a really long scarf. But 1 skein of sport is not going to be enough to get you a full-size scarf for most people, so you still need 2 skeins, and then you'll have some left over. You can make a hat or maybe something, and you're going to end up with a scarf that's narrower. It'll have this same pattern, but it'll be skinnier because it's skinnier yarn on skinnier needles. If you want to use worsted weight yarn, that will work too. You'll need to go up a needle size based on your gauge, maybe 2. You need to see if it's got a drape you like, and you're gonna need at least 3 skeins of yarn because your average worsted weight is only around 220 yards, and in worsted it's gonna be wider, but it's not going to be as long. So you're probably going to need 3 skeins if you want to do it in worsted. But for the DK, it's 2 skeins, 200 grams. And so you can modify it so it's a very flexible pattern. And I mean, you could probably even do it in skinnier and fatter yarn. It just depends. Obviously, if you go fatter, the scarf's going to get wider. And if you go skinnier yarn, it's going to get skinnier. But it should be fun, and the effect should still be the same. This one looks really cool because of the hand-dyed yarn that I used. It really allows that beautiful yarn to show off and do fun stuff. What else do we need to do? I definitely blocked it. I wanted to get the length out of it, and blocking neatens up these slip stitches. But it wasn't an aggressive block. I just soaked it for 20 minutes in lukewarm water and wool wash, spun it out, and then sort of laid it out. I did put in, I put in pins and I put in blocking wires just because I'm a little bit of a control freak. But you know, realistically, if you don't want to go to those extents, if you don't want perfectly straight edges like I did, you could just lay it out, but you are going to get more length because these slip stitches are going to pull in a little bit. Soaking it in water and allowing the stitches to relax will open it up more. Now, if you don't want to block it, it's going to be shorter, but it's not going to curl because at its base it is garter. So it's still going to lay flat. If you're anti-blocking, which, hey, you know what? It's a scarf. It's just not going to look as neat. You can maybe steam block it a little bit to neaten it up, but it's going to make it shorter. So what else can I tell you about? Pretty much that's everything. That's everything because, oh, one of the details I really like, and it's one of the slip things, this does have a slip stitch edge, and this is the thing, beyond just tiny little details. So you see how pretty, is that focusing for me? See how pretty the edge is? So that is because it's a slip stitch edge, and it's just the little details, and it's the finesse that I think separates some. Like, you have to have, when you're going with something as spare as this, you have to have all the details right. You know, you can't be sloppy. So there we go. It's hard to show you when it's on her. So what you've got here, it's a little bit asymmetrical, which I believe you guys know. Y'all know that that's what I do. And you can see that it's not quite garter. You've got a little texture there. And that's how it looks. So it's just, I'm super pleased with it. So this is a good scarf. You will find links to it, the Ravelry and any locations where you can get it. And I would love to see in the Watch Barbara Knits group, if you start to knit it, I love to see people showing me what they're doing. If you have any questions about it, please do not hesitate to talk to me in the comments below, or come over to the Ravelry group and we can chat about it. But I hope this is going to become some of y'all's go-to scarf. If so, there we go. Now, if you like this video, please give it the thumbs up, click that like button, and if you would like to be notified whenever I upload a new video, please subscribe to my channel and select notifications. Thank you so much.